Hey, it's Christine Kane, and welcome to another episode of Instant Uplevel. Hey there, it's Christine Kane, president and founder of Uplevel U, where we teach super cool, purpose-driven, heart-centered entrepreneurs just like you how to make a lot more money in your business and have a lot more freedom in your life. Today's topic is all about stealing content. How to steal content. No, it's actually a question from a very conscientious entrepreneur who wants to know about how do you make sure you're not stealing other people's stuff. So Kelly writes in, I teach this stuff myself. How do people like us share what we're learning with and from each other without feeling like we are borrowing, stealing, copying, or otherwise being shady? LOL. I deliver it in my own authentic way, but I want to make sure that I'm giving credit where it is due. This is a really good question, and it really shows me that your awareness in and of itself shows that this is not something to be overly concerned about, Kelly, but it's a great question because all of us are creating content all the time, and now more than ever, the content is out there. It's available to us, and we're setting up businesses so that we can be more creative with how we deliver things. So the first point is that in general, there's kind of not new information under the sun. I mean, it can all go back and back and back and back, and we try to find the exact source of the way we're teaching. It's going to be hard to nail it all down and give credit where credit is due, plus you'll sound like an idiot when you're trying to. The key thing is how you teach it, how you frame things. So for instance, with Uplevel Academy, the way I teach my masterminds is I have two tracks with how I teach my clients. One is the strategy track, one is the soul track. And I'm teaching business and business building and marketing, but one piece of it is left brain, how to market, how to write content, how to create an easy, how to get clients, how to do, sell, all that kind of stuff. The other side is soul, and it's all of that, supposedly soft stuff that I know gets in the way of people's success if they don't have that stuff nailed down. That's how I frame what I teach. That's how I contextualize it, because over my years of coaching entrepreneurs, I've seen that both of these things matter. That's my thing. There aren't any other people out there saying, I do soul and strategy. And if there are, it's purely either coincidental or, they liked it and they took it. But at the same time, it's really something I know is mine. So what I would say to you or any expert that's out there is start paying attention to how you teach your clients. When you're just in the moment talking with them and they're sitting in front of you or they're on the phone with you, watch yourself. When they have an aha, what did you just say? When they went, oh, I totally get that. Something about how you are filtering information that is maybe even thousands of years old, something the way you're filtering it is hitting home for them, and that's what you want to pay attention to. It's what I call framework and contextualizing things, and then also what you name things, what you call them. So for me, I created the Sunday Summit, for instance, in my Uplevel Your Life program. And that's the vernacular that all my clients use is Sunday Summit, Sunday Summit. And the content of it is really just a way of getting back in touch with yourself, setting priorities for the week, but that's what I named it. You start coming up with things for yourself with how you name things, how you frame things. And the key to that is really that it takes time, it takes a little bit of discomfort because you've got to kind of sit there and find your way with this. And it really takes sitting and creating and giving yourself that space. So as entrepreneurs, we tend to be like all over. I'm over here, I've got this, and I got this idea, I got this thing. At some point in your week, in your daily rounds, you have got to carve out the time where you're starting to create things that are yours, and they're yours. Because at first, it's all just up here. Oh, I like that idea, and I do that idea, and I see that idea. And then you've got to sit down and say, how am I going to lay it out? How do I lay it out for my clients in such a way that it really, really hits home for them? And the last thing I want to say is actually on the opposite end of that, because I know some of you are a little concerned about, well, what if someone rips off my stuff, And it's happened to me. I've seen people create things, and I've seen people violate trademarks and uplevel your whatever. I've seen it happen, and it does happen. The key thing I tell my clients is that when it comes down to it, your energy cannot be ripped off. who you are, your energy behind the thing you've created can't be duplicated. Now, of course, you don't want somebody violating trademarks or taking your logo or taking your business name, of course, that kind of thing. However, if somebody were to come and take my entire Uplevel Your Life program and all 7 steps of it and try to teach it, I think they'd have a really hard time with it, because I put so much time into it, so much focus in it, and so much of my own spirit and self into it, that's really hard to rip off. And I think that people right now, the world can just spot it. Like, we know when somebody is not congruent. We know when somebody's not quite there. And so even if you sold to a few people, I think they would get it. You can't sustain success ripping off other people. And that's why I don't really worry about that kind of thing. For other stuff, you know, that's why we have lawyers. So in your comments below, share with all of us, how do you, when you're sitting down to create content, how do you get out of the way of that fear of, oh, this has all been said before, oh, I'm probably, you know, stealing from someone, oh my God. How do you get beyond that and really create pure content for yourself?